Microplastics are classified as a wicked problem, complex and widespread. However, that doesn't mean there aren't steps we can take to intercept and reduce their presence.
One of the most effective and unexpected solutions, green roofs, which have the ability to filter out 97.5% of airborne microplastics.
According to a Stanford report, an estimated 10 to 40 million tons of microplastics are released into the environment annually, and if nothing is done, that number is expected to double by 2040.
Microplastic abundance is dependent on anthropogenic factors, with statistically significant positive correlations between urban land uses and microplastic abundance in the surrounding ecosystem. Here is a quick example of what the life cycle of a microplastic looks like. Microplastics enter the atmosphere where they stay for an average of 8 days. Then they rain down on us with the help of water's adhesion property. This rain becomes runoff and enters streams, but not before picking up more microplastic particles from urbanized areas, agriculture, and landfill sites. The original runoff eventually flows into the ocean, where it is consumed by zooplankton and small fish. The microplastic particles slowly make their way up the trophic system until they're inevitably consumed by us.
Scientists have found that microplastics are already in our bodies. In fact, it's estimated that the average human consumes about a credit card's amount of microplastics in just only a week. While microplastics are typically ingested through inhalation, humans are at greater risk of microplastic exposure through their environments.
Through various studies worldwide, researchers were able to find microplastics in several human organs, including our tissues, brains, stomachs, and reproductive organs. In fact, microplastics have been discovered in the placentas of new mothers, dubbed as plasticenta.
In many studies done in recent years, scientists were able to attribute microplastic presence in our bodies to various negative health impacts. These include increased risk of both heart attack and stroke, along with death from either cause, intestinal injury, liver infection, loss of beneficial gut bacteria, or lipid buildup, which could lead to metabolic diseases.
Since plastic is everywhere, it is hard to avoid consuming it, but there are ways we can mitigate our exposure to it in our environment.
Urban areas consist of 50 to over 90% of impervious surfaces, and in an average city, roofs take up half of that. This is a perfect area to make a change, to repurpose this wasted space for something that's needed.
By implementing green roofs, we have the potential to filter out 97.5% of the microplastics in the atmosphere through rainfall. This is because as rain is falling through the atmosphere, the water adheres to the tiny plastic fragments and fibers, depositing up to 9.5 billion particles in a single storm.
Green roofs work by trapping the particles as the water seeps through the soil layer.
Not only are green roofs super effective in filtering microplastics, but they help address a wide number of other urban problems. For example, green roofs have a natural cooling effect, reducing street temperatures up to 3 degrees Celsius in cities.
They target urban air pollution, removing inhalable pollutants like soot, metals, and dust from the atmosphere. Studies have found that cities can reduce overall building energy consumption by up to 70% when they implement green roofs.
Green roofs would be an incredible addition to our cities, but they haven't been implemented yet on any large scale. Why is that?
A great deal of environmental advocacy is needed to introduce green roofs as a standard microplastic intervention strategy in cities. This is because of negative stigmas around green construction and the expense of implementing new technology on this scale.
Environmental education is our best strategy to change these ideas and get green roofs into our cities. In the description of this video, you'll find a link to an email template for your local or state legislators educating them on the benefits of green roofs.
One email might seem too small to inspire any real change, but 50 or 100 emails? Let's go even bigger. Imagine 1,000 voices urging Congress to implement environmental policy in favor of green roofs.
The individual has amazing potential to create change when joined with others working towards the same goals. So send that email, tell your friends and your family about green roofs, and be a part of the green future of our cities.